right, guys, we're back. That was fun. If you guys had fun, let me know. I'm gonna copy that link again for you guys in the chat. That you could check it out. I'm gonna make sure we're live first in this group. And if you guys are watching us, if you guys want to click it so we can see who's chatting, because it's kind of weird. I don't know why it does that, or I can't see any names that come through. So, oh man, I can't post it here. Post it. I'll post it on the main Patreon page, guys. On do that real quick. All right. So I hope you guys have had fun on the show. This one, our little after show where we kind of just let our hair down and have a little fun. And I picked a few songs. Luke and I sat down and went down through a few songs that we're going to showcase that he's done. I don't know, over the course that you've been in Nashville, huh? You'd say?
Yeah.
So I think this will spread it pretty good across. So if you guys are in the chat, just kind of drop a link, say hey, what's up, and we're gonna get started here. But the first one, we go. We changed it up off my list, and I gotta look at my text real quick. So we're talking about I Am Steve. So let me know about this one. You said you had a cool little story. So
Yeah, man.
is this kind of were you Republican Hair when the song first started coming out?
I wrote this song, and I had a indie band called Republican Hair, and then my friend Nat and I, we were riding that day, and we went to this little taco shop on the corner, and we bought tacos. It was raining. We were in her car, and she walked out, and there was this homeless dude, and he was kind of in bad shape. He was eating tacos, kinda, and she got in the car, and she dipped into her purse, and she pulled out $100 bill, and she said, "Should I give this to that guy?" And I said, Nat, it's your conscience and your money, and you should do whatever you feel compelled to. I'm here to support whatever you want to do. And she just hops out real quick and goes and gives him this $100 bill, and I just kind of see him look up, and I just see him say, my window's up so I can't hear, but I see him say, "Are you fucking serious?" And she's like, "Yeah, buddy." And she just comes and gets back in the car, and he follows her, and she rolls down the window, and he looks at her, and he's a little drunk, and he said, "This is like the second best thing that's ever happened to me." And I thought it was both sweet and funny, because I wondered what the first was, and and he goes on to tell a little bit about his story, and it was interesting, and he said, and she said, he said, "What's your name?" And she said, "Natalie," and he kissed her hand, and he said, "What's your name?" And I said, "I'm Luke," and he shakes my hand, and then she goes, "What about you, buddy? What's your name?" And he goes, "Me?" Like nobody had ever asked him his name before, and he just looks and he puts his arms out and he goes, "I'm Steve." And it was actually a really heartwarming and sentimental experience to me. And we got back, and I said, "Nat, I don't know why, but I just feel like I want to write a song called I Am Steve," and it's sort of this sort of strange. I don't want to write about poverty. I don't want to write about homelessness. Those are important things to write about, but that's not how I feel it happening.
Yeah.
So anyway, this is what came out.
We briefly touched about the name changed. Is this song kind of led to
The
the
song led me to change the band name to Steve.
That's awesome.
So here we go. It's called I Am Steve. I am Steve. There are many other Steves, but there is only one that is me. And I am Steve. I could have been a David or a Gene, but then I wouldn't really be me. And I am Steve in the morning, Steve in the eve, Steve in the mirror looking back saying, "Who is me?" Well, I am Steve. And they say, "Run, Stevie, run, Stevie, do what you can. Get you a house and a car and some happiness. Well, go, Stevie, be the best Steve you can be." a dream. Well, I am Steve. Stevie. Well, I am Steve. Stevie. Well, I am Steve. I'm still working on myself, but Steve still needs a little help. And what's it mean? And why should I get out of bed? Am I the only Steve with a voice in my head singing, run, Stevie, do what you can. Get you a house and a car and some happiness. Well, go, Stevie, be the best Steve you can be. Oh, yeah, run, Stevie, do what you can. And if it doesn't work, just try it again. But if you do it right, you'll be kicking back at night saying, yes, I'm living a dream. But I am Steve. I am Steve. Steve in the ocean, Steve in the sea, Stevie looking for the meaning of Steve. Steve feeling lonely, but Steve ain't alone. There's a million other Steves in their little Steve homes. They're all singing, run, Stevie, do what you can. Get you a house and a car and some happiness. Go, Stevie, be the best Steve you can be. Oh, yeah, run, Stevie, do what you can. And if it doesn't work, just try it again. But if you do it right, you'll be kicking back at night saying, yes, I'm living a dream. Well, I am Steve. Yes, I am Steve. Oh, I am Steve. Yes, I am Steve. Uh-uh.
That is so cool, man.
Yeah,
That's on the new EP too, right?
that's on the new
That's
EP.
yeah. I heard
Yeah.
that one earlier when I was listening to the new EP. So when did you release the EP? You did it right before the whole
That was
quarantine, right?
I think the fall. We're about to do
Okay.
another one. I just signed a little deal, and so we're gonna release it with this imprint called End Grooves in the next probably 2 months. And here's another weird story for you in the tech world. We're actually, since this is kind of an inside job here, we're at an after party. I can give you insider information. It's like Steve is a great name for a band. I'm totally in.
Yeah.
I'm totally in on it. Problem is when you look up any kind of music named Steve, you got about 1 million people that you're behind, and so
Yeah.
I talked about making it more friendly and just calling it "Hey Steve." That way, everybody can look it up easier.
And you say,
But if
hey
you look
Steve,
up
you gotta tell people to turn around.
yeah, if you look up "I am Steve" right now, then that will come up.
Well, yeah, definitely. Why I know I was trying to tag it and everything earlier. I had to look at exactly what your tag was, just like
That's
find
it.
it on Facebook.
That's it.
So I had to get that and do the @ and all that, but it worked
Yeah.
out. So
Good.
so writing with like songs for different people. When you go into these writes, like okay, for a couple of them you knew you were getting with Eric. So with Around Here Buzz, you kind of like really knew that was going in there. But like when you wrote with Miranda, or the couple ones you got with her, like Pink Sunglasses and Vagabonds, did you know those songs were meant for Miranda, or you were writing for those albums?
Well, Natalie and I have a like a vibe that we kind of share. I don't know how to explain it, but where the Miranda and I weren't raised very far from each other, and Natalie and I have a lot of similarities in how we see the world, and so we do write. I mean, we have several really good sentimental songs, but when we get together, we like to try to both get at something, but also have a lot of fun getting at
Yeah.
something. And it was maybe before I'd written a couple songs with Miranda, but I was still just writing, and then they would land. If Natalie and I were working, and she had a female vocal on it, they were landing in Miranda's hands, and she was loving it. So, Pink Sunglasses, Natalie had an Instagram post of her kid in these really cool, weird pink sunglasses, and it just said pink sunglasses, and I was like, I just feel like there's something to that. And in the Big Lebowski, when he's getting ribbed by the Malibu police, and this totally, this fascist cop is like just throwing coffee cups at him and stuff, and he just sort of puts his sunglasses down, and there's part of me that feels like that. It's just like, I don't want to hear anything today. I'm just going to put these sunglasses on. I don't have to look at anybody, and I'm just going to go do my thing, and it's like almost like rose colored glasses, but like a little more sort of punk thing. This is what I do when I'm not ready to interact with the world, kind of a thing. A mythology of sunglasses.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love to hear it, man.
Yeah.
All right.
I put them on whenever I sit down to read the paper. Can't explain the way they seem to work like magic. I put them on to keep it positive. Don't mean to tell you how to live. I'm just a firm believer in the power of plastic. A positive plastic. Well, they're my pink sunglasses. Anytime you need a change of the weather, my pink sunglasses always make the world look a little bit better. For $9.99, I'm perfectly disguised when I'm walking by and wanna roll my eyes in my pink sunglasses, pink sunglasses, pink sunglasses, pink sunglasses. Well, I was looking for some tortoise shells, but these were on sale next to the disposable cameras. Put them on, and suddenly it occurred to me that buying Little Debbie's felt a little more glamorous. In the checkout line, don't I look good? Well, they're my pink sunglasses. Always make the world look a little bit better in my pink sunglasses. Try them anytime you need a change of the weather. For $9.99, I'm perfectly disguised when I'm walking by and wanna roll my eyes in my pink sunglasses, pink sunglasses, pink sunglasses. The solo goes no 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 no. Well, I can leave them in a beach, at a bar, on a boat, but they always reappear in the pocket of my coat. Well, I don't find them, they always find me. Well, they're my pink sunglasses. They always make the world look a little bit better. My pink sunglasses. Try them anytime you need a change of the weather. For $9.99, I'm completely polarized. Sometimes I accidentally go to bed at night in my pink sunglasses, pink sunglasses, pink sunglasses, pink sunglasses.
Yeah. I love your style, man. Like just when you do like that's why I was talking about like on the live show. Like I love listening to like the songwriters' versions of the songs because sometimes they're completely different, but you really get to hear where they put in like emphasis on different parts of the songs and stuff. And I just love it, man, because it's
It's a
always
you know, I don't know. I really like that. Living in Nashville, you get a feel for that. You know, you
yeah,
may not even there may be a song you never even liked on the radio, and then you see a songwriter play it, and you're like, I like that a lot. You know.
exactly, man. Exactly. Which one? My one of my favorites. What hurts the most by Jeffrey Steele is one of my favorites like that, baby, because I liked
That's so
Freshly
weird.
Pressed.
That's exactly the song that I was thinking about when I heard that. I was like, I didn't like that when it came out, and then
Yeah,
but I liked it when I hear Jeffrey sing it. I'm just like, yeah, that's awesome. I love
exactly. I'm a huge Jeffrey Steele fan too, but Aaron Lewis will covered it once,
it.
and dude, he blows it away. Like
Uh-huh.
if you
That's
ever heard
cool.
Aaron Lewis's version of that song, that's really
I
good.
haven't heard that, but it makes sense to me. Just sort of envisioning that.
Yeah, like he'll do that live every now and then, and he nails it. So let's see. All right. Yeah, so that we were talking about during the live show a little bit about you working with Dirks and everything else. But Burning Man, man, it was just such a huge song. And where did that come from?
Me and Bobby Pinson were writing, and we had written um, a pretty good song that day. But we were both tired, and he had some stuff he had to run on and go to, and I had this track that was on my computer that I had built with guitars and drums and stuff like that, and I really liked it. And I don't know if I accidentally played it when he left or just pushed the space bar or something. And I mean, he was literally halfway out the door, and he's like, "Wait a minute, what is that?" And I'm like, "Man, it's just this thing I was working on. I don't really have a hook for it. I just kind of knew what the chorus sound like, you know. I'm a little bit da-da, I'm a little bit bono, I'm a da-da-da-da-da. You know, that's all I had.
Yeah.
And then, you know, sort of the title Burning Man fell out, and it was like I've never been to Burning Man, but I was like, I kind of don't want it to be about a festival. That doesn't sound very interesting just
Yeah.
conceptually. And I was like, but if the beginning of that festival, it was just some dudes who were out there, and their homie had broken up with a girlfriend or got a divorce or something like that, and they burned just a man, like this sort of straw man in effigy, you know, as to sort of cleansing this dude, you know, and sort of a new beginning or whatever. And I thought that sort of symbolically was cool. So there's if you ever just look up images of Burning Man, some of the art installations are incredible.
Yeah.
And I have friends out in California. It's a wild place, and there's all kind of wild stuff in the desert. And I like going out there. And I usually go and I'll take a business trip to California, do go to LA, but then I'll go 1 or 2 days and go see something I haven't seen. And I don't know, it's kind of rejuvenating to me. You know, I like to get lost a little bit because you get in this sort of, I don't want to call it a rut because I like my life, but it's like this sort of feeling a little bit of sort of a little bit of wildness or something, you know, of needing to just not have a schedule, not know which way you're going to go that day, just go, you know. And this feeling of wanting to be both rooted and wild at the same time is kind of how that concept unfolded. And Bobby just, I mean, he just came slamming with the verse and I over that guitar part that I have. And anyway, we wrote that song in like an hour. He was on the way home, and we didn't have the bridge, and I just texted him this bridge, you know. And it was that last verse, which is kind of what I was talking about, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah, I want to just go to Joshua Tree and get lost for a minute. And um, he's like, "Yeah, I love that, man. That's it." So that's what it
It was
was, man.
crazy because there was a few songs. Well, I know Eric had Desperate Man that was talking about Joshua Tree too. There's a few that was out there about Joshua Tree, and
Mhm.
it's something that's been really popping up in songs again, and it's kind of nice.
Well,
So I want to get out there one of these days.
I mean, there's there's like no power lines, and it's just a different landscape from the
Mhm.
south for sure, and something that you never seen. You get to go through those national deserts and stuff out there, and I don't. It's just different and really cool, and the landscape. I gotta I put this just redid my studio, and I just put this big picture, this painting of Joshua Tree, but it's kind of a little bit impressionistic and really vivid and stuff. But it's powerful. I don't know exactly how to explain it other than it's worth seeing, and there's a reason people make a fuss about it.
Exactly, man. Well, I would love to hear Bernie, man. If you want to play, man. Cool.
Half your life you struggle, half your life you fly, half your life making trouble, half your life making it right. One day I'm the exception, most days I'm just like most. Well, some days I'm headed in the right direction, some days I ain't even close. I'm a little bit steady, but still a little bit rolling stone. I'm a little bit heaven, but still a little bit flesh and bone. Then found a little, don't know where I am. I'm a little bit holy water, but still a little bit burning, man. Burning, man. I'll always love the highway, I just don't run it as fast. I still go wherever the wind blows me, but I always find my way back. I still don't get it right sometimes, I just don't get it as wrong. I still go wherever, a bit crazy sometimes, yeah, but now I don't stay near as long. I'm a little bit steady, but still a little bit rolling stone. I'm a little bit heaven, but still a little bit flesh and bone. A little found, a little don't know where I am. I'm a little bit holy water, but still a little bit burning, man. Burning, man. I'll still just burn, burn, burn. I'll go to the desert, find myself in the Joshua Tree. If we pass in the night, yeah, just hand me a light and tell me you burn just like me. I'm a little bit steady, but still a little bit rolling stone. I'm a little bit heaven, but still a little bit flesh and bone. A little found, a little don't know where I am. I'm a little bit holy water, but still a little bit burning, man. Burning, man. Yeah, still just burn, burn, burning, man, burning, man. A burning
That was cool, man. So did you know that was gonna be a duet?
I didn't. No. They
No.
told me, they were working on the record, and they said, "Man, I think we're gonna bring in the Osbournes on this." And I was like, "That's awesome. Makes total sense. I can totally hear TJ
Oh yeah.
rocking on the verse, and it made total sense because John could go shred. It's perfect."
Yeah, those guys are wild, man.
Yeah.
So we talked about Kip Moore earlier, and you've done a lot with Kip, and it's really cool to see kind of like all the hands you've had in there and different songs. I'm a huge Kip fan, man, and it's kind of funny. I have a buddy; he's a musician, but he struggles at writing music. And I told him one day, "Well, we're gonna sit down and write you a song."
Uh-huh.
I heard someone tell me one day about something about I drink the fifth. So we wrote him a song called I Drink the Fifth. And I
Uh-huh.
literally like a month later, Kip's album comes out and there's I plead the fifth on there. I was like, God damn it. They
That
already
was
beat me to it.
that was you know, I mean, that happens a lot in Nashville. It's like there's
Yeah.
something's in the water, you know. It's like a couple of titles will pop up and it's like, what? You throw out a title, you think it's fresh, and somebody says, well, you know, ah man, I wrote that a couple months ago with so and so. It's just like people are always looking for a turn of a phrase and stuff, and
Yeah.
just the way that the spirit of culture works, it's all happening at the same time. But yeah, that was me and Josh Keir.
That's awesome.
He had that title and I had the vibe, and we worked it up together.
That was really cool. But when I was looking at all the different Kip songs that you kind of had a hand in and everything else, there's one that really stood out. And I mean, for definitely with Kip, I know it stood out was the Bull. But
Yeah.
for me, it's kind of a funny story. I rode a mechanical bull once and I got bumped off it. And I tore a ligament and had to have surgery on my
Oh,
right hand.
whoa.
I was stone cold sober too.
Mhm.
It actually was the night before Eric did those back-to-back shows at the Bridgestone. He played in Louisville, and we went and saw him in Louisville, and we went to PBR Live or somewhere on 4th Street Live in Louisville. And I'm like, oh, I could ride this. And
Yeah.
but that was when the bull came out, and I always would laugh. And I'm like, oh yeah, I got bumped off a bull, but you always
That's
think about
hilarious.
it. So like it's kind of like it was a metaphor in a way for anything. And you always think about in life the times that or one door closes and one opens, or the time where all the people told you no.
Yeah.
But when you started writing that song, where were you coming from on it?
Man, it was kind of weird. I, I woke up one night and I mean, it was like I had that lyric in a dream, and I was like giving a speech, a thank you speech, and for whatever in the sort of delusions of grandeur in my subconscious, whatever I was receiving an award for, and I said, and thanks to the Bulls that bucked me off. And I woke up and I'm like wrote that down. I thought it was really good, and then I looked at it the next morning. And I was like, that sounds kind of pompous, you know, like a little pretentious or something. I don't know. And then I was writing with John Randall like the next day or whatever. I'm like, I dreamed this thing, and he's like, man, I love that. And so he had like these great lines, you know, thank you, Uncle D, for teaching me La Bamba on guitar. I mean, there was like
Yeah.
awesome imagery. And so that was our first write that ended up being a radio single for Kip. And I'm still to this day, I was bummed that it didn't become a bigger success, but it's a show closer for him, you know, and
Exactly.
it's a big deal for his fans, and that means something to me, you know. It's out
That's
there
right.
resonating with people, and I've always felt like it was, you know, it was a really good piece of song, you know.
Kip's had a lot of those songs that shoulda, woulda, coulda, and it
Yeah,
sucks because there's no reason why Kip should not be one of these top 5 or top 10 performing artists out there with the
yeah,
kind of songs he has and just who he is as a person. Like, just really cool, laid back, and just like he doesn't like. I saw him on his Bud Light tour that he did just last year or
uh-huh.
whatever. He did a little dive tour, and it's just like he didn't care, man. One guy had a GoPro up, and Kip just took him out of his hand, and I love that about him because he wants to
Yeah,
be about the music, dude.
yeah, totally.
So I
Here,
love to hear the Bull, man. Yeah,
here's the bull. Who knows? I might wind up on the cover of a Rolling Stone, a pair of shades and a Grammy in my hand. Just a blue jean boy in a great big world of yes. I got my speech already in my head. And I'll say, thank you, Uncle D, for teaching me the Mamba on guitar. Thank you, girl from Broken Bow, who shot an arrow through my heart. Thank you, Mama, for the rock. Thank you, Daddy, for the roll. Most of all, thanks to the bull who bucked me off. I sit down. All hell what if I turned the rhymes up in my mind into a big old hit, and it played 100 times a day on the radio, and it gave a little broken heart somewhere some hope. Well, I'd jump on stage and the chorus would go da 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 da. Thank you, Uncle Lee, for teaching me the mambo on guitar. Thank you, girl from Broken Bow, who shot an arrow through my heart. Thank you, Mama, for the road. Thank you, Daddy, for the rock. Most of all, thanks to the fools that put me off. I'll sit down. Every knockdown in the dirt, every note I ever heard. It'll sure feel good to laugh when I look back and flip the both bird. Every nail that ripped my shirt, every note I ever heard. It'll sure feel good to laugh when I look back and flip the both bird. Then I'll say, then I'll say, then I'll say, then I'll say, thank you, Uncle Lee, for teaching me the mambo on guitar. Thank you, girl from Broken Bow, who shot an arrow through my heart. Thank you, Lynchburg, for the nights I needed edges took away. Thank you, Vinyl, for the soundtrack to my life. It's sure been great. Thank you, Mama, for the road. Thank you, Daddy, for the rock. Most of all, thanks to the fools that fuck me off. I sit down. Then I'll say, 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 then I'll say.
I love that one. I love the Broken Bow line on that one.
That-
Whose career was that one?
That's a town in Oklahoma. It's called Broken Bow, and
Okay, I thought it was more like the record. Like I was thinking record
no.
company.
There's
Yeah,
a town, and I was just like going. We were just looking for imagery, and I can't remember how. Thank you, girl from Broken Bow, who shot an arrow through my heart. And
That's
it's
awesome.
down by southeastern Oklahoma, and it's always thought it was a cool town name.
That is awesome. So I was just reading a little bit earlier about when you wrote Bluebird, and Miranda kind of dropped a bomb that she just got married 3 days prior, and she
Yeah,
was all excited. That was kind of like her little announcement to you guys, huh?
yeah. She rolled up, and we were getting hot and heavy on writing for her record, what's now Wild Card. But she showed up, and she likes to write late, and so I get up really early. My kids get up early. I mean, I got a kid who gets up at 4:30 in the morning, so it's pretty gnarly around here. So I have to take like a nap in the middle of the day if I know Miranda's coming. But I like working at night. Eric and I write at night sometimes. And anyway, she showed up, and she usually brings like a party pack. Got a little ice chest with her, whatever, and it's really good time. And she walked in, and she was like, well, I can tell y'all are acting weird. I'm acting weird. There's something going on. And I was thinking, there's nothing weird right now. Nothing's weird is happening. She's like, I'll spill it. I got married 3 days ago. And I'm like, I just started laughing. I'm like, good for you, I love it.
Yeah,
Like there's, I love passionate people, spontaneous people. And she's a really interesting
I'm
and
sure it brought creativity to the table.
yeah. She's an interesting and deep person with a lot of care about her, and is spontaneous, and met somebody that she loved and wanted to get married, and I was like, good for you, do
Yeah,
what
man.
follow that
She
Tracy.
deserves it, man. Everybody deserves to be happy. That's how I
Mhm.
say it in life. It doesn't matter who makes you happy. You just deserve to be happy.
That's what I feel. That's how I
Find
feel.
your happiness. I mean, everybody does. There's someone out there for everybody that'll make you happy. So
That's it.
but yeah, man, Bluebird is definitely. I feel like I mean, well, also in the same thing, it was talking about you want to make a statement or piece like that, like for everybody. This is the way the song came out. It just was amazing, I think, and I would love to hear it, man.
Yeah, man, sure. Here goes. I'm a turner. I turn pages all the time. If I don't like where I'm at, if 34 was bad, I just turn to 35. Yeah, I'm a keeper. I keep digging down for the deep. Like the records I'm playing, I might keep you waiting, but it's only 'cause I'm playing for keeps. Well, if the house just keeps on winning, I got a wild card up my sleeve. And if love keeps giving me lemons, I just mix them in my drink. And if the whole wide world stops singing and all the stars go dark, I turn a light on in my soul and keep a bluebird in my heart. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, I'm a giver. Yeah, and I'm still giving them hell. Forgiving's pretty hard, so I've made an art out of forgetting them well. And I'm a rhymer. I could turn 20 cents into a 10. And if I get confused and I start to lose, I rhyme a dime till it all makes sense. Well, if the house just keeps on winning, I keep a wild card up my sleeve. And if love keeps giving me lemons, I just mix them in my drink. And if the whole wide world stops singing and all the stars go dark, I turn a light on in my soul and keep a bluebird in my heart. Ooh. Well, if the house just keeps on winning, I got a wild card up my sleeve. And if love keeps giving me lemons, I just mix them in my drink. And if the whole wide world stops singing and all the stars go dark, I turn a light on in my soul and keep a bluebird in my heart. I turn the light on in my soul and keep a bluebird in my heart. I turn the light on in my soul and keep a bluebird. Keep a bluebird in my heart. Ooh. I just keep a little bluebird in my heart. Ooh. I keep a little bluebird. Ooh.
Love it, man. Dude, I want to thank you so much for spending so much time with me tonight, dude. This has
Man,
been
thank you, and thanks to the fans for tuning in and being a part of the show.
the show's already at 1,000 views, so you had a good crowd tonight.
Awesome. You know, I haven't played any since the pandemic, and it's haven't done any live streams or anything, so it's nice to have. Thanks for giving me a reason to
No problem, man. Yeah.
break out and play some songs and have a conversation. So I
Yeah,
appreciate
it's been
it.
fun. I'm glad. I'm actually glad we didn't have it back in March and kind of waited for
Got
now.
gnarly.
So,
It's been
yeah,
gnarly a minute. My house got blown over by a tornado and stuff. So.
that was insane. So, but I appreciate it, man, and we'll definitely talk soon. And take care.
Thank you so much, Aaron.
Thanks, dude. We'll talk
Bye.
soon. Bye. Guys, that was another amazing show. Thank you guys for being part of it. I think my mic's like echoing now. I don't know what happened earlier. I always have some kind of issue, right? Every week. But hey, guys, thanks again for tuning in. For everybody on this page, on Patreons, thank you guys for help supporting. I know times are really tough right now, and the world's crazy. You never know what's going to happen. So just that $1, $5, whatever you guys do give every month, thank you guys so much. It helps keeps this show going. It help I thought fix all of my sound issues, but we're still working on that. But still giving the Patreon donation every month and also our giveaways. And it's been amazing. And like I said, I'm booking a third season. I want to keep this rolling and see how far we could take it. Next week we got Sue coming on, and I cannot wait to talk with her because I know her and I have stories that we cannot wait to share. And Sue is one of the most passionate church choir members I've ever met in my life. So There probably will not be an after show next week. Just a heads up now, let you guys know, because I'm trying to work on some things. My hours have been back and forth at work, and once I finally have set hours, we might actually move the show one on show nights. But we'll cross that bridge in another month or so when it happens, and see what goes on. But there probably won't be an after show next week. Just a heads up to everybody. But we're gonna have a good one coming up because the guys from Whiskey Riff are coming here. So they're coming here to the house, and we're gonna have a wild night, and we're gonna ask them a lot of cool questions. So it's gonna be a good night. But anybody that wants to come on the show, hit me up. If you guys are on my Patreon, hit me up. Send me a message if you guys want to be a guest, because I'm definitely gonna need some more Church Choir Power on the 3rd season. So, and I want to bring you guys on and have you guys be a part of the show, and because that's where it stemmed from. It came from you guys. So, but I love you guys. Stay safe, take care, and see you guys next week. It's gonna be a fun one. Talk to you guys later.